The following segment is sponsored by Smith Injury Law and 300hurt.com.
Before a workers' comp or auto litigation would make it to a full jury trial, mediation is often required, and a lot of cases settle at mediation. That's why it's important to hire an attorney that is experienced in that area. We've got Richard Smith from Smith Injury Law here to talk about it this morning. Hi, Richard.
Hello, Morgan.
First, we know mediation is required in many North Carolina workers' comp cases and many workers' comp cases in South Carolina, too. What happens during mediation?
Mediation is when you have a mediator chosen by the parties and they are trying to get the parties together in separate rooms to try to negotiate a settlement of the case. It's not a trial of the case, but oftentimes you have to prepare the mediation just like a trial in terms of putting forth your evidence. And it's very important that you do a good job of mediation, because most cases nowadays will settle at mediation as opposed to going to a full jury trial.
And then you say that you have to prepare for mediation in many ways, just like you'd have to prepare for a trial. So tell us about that.
Well, you're trying to convince the other side that they need to negotiate with you and settle the case with you. So you have to give them the basis to do that. You have to explain to them why the case is worth what it is, why your argument's better than their argument, and that kind of thing. But it's a different skill involved, because you're talking to adjusters and defense attorneys, not jurors.
Yeah, it's a different skill set, one not to be taken lightly. I know you're a licensed mediator in North Carolina and in South Carolina. You've represented hundreds of clients at mediation, and you even speak at legal seminars on the topic. So anything else you want people to understand about why it's important to really hire somebody with that knowledge?
Because mediation is somewhat like the new trial. Very few cases actually go to trial in the civil docket to a jury trial. Most of them are settled at mediation, so that may be your only chance and your best chance to convince the other side to pay a large amount for your case is if you do a good job presenting your case at mediation.
Yeah, well, we know your success rate is incredible, and at Smith Injury Law, your practice areas include personal injury, workers' compensation, car and truck collisions, and even Social Security disability claims. You cover a lot of the mistakes that you see people make legally in that book, 10 Critical Mistakes to Avoid. Tell us a little bit about it.
I wrote the book trying to help the common person who is involved in a car accident, and maybe it's their first car accident. They don't know how to get compensation. They don't know who to contact, what to do. And there's a lot of mistakes people can make if they're not represented. And so I wanted to just kind of set that out for them so they can read this when they're not in an accident. Mm-hmm. And if they get in an accident, they know, hey, I remember reading in that book not to do this.
Yeah, and it's just really easy to understand. You're not writing it with a bunch of legal jargon in it. People can request that book for you and get it for free. They can contact you by calling 300hurt or visiting 300hurt.com. Richard Smith, Smith Injury Law. Thanks as always for being here.
Thank you, Margaret.